Let's go draft. Transition right now to the NFL draft here in Las Vegas. People are coming. It's Wednesday. Ironically, you can't bet the draft in Las Vegas after 5:00 p.m. Pacific today, local time. You can bet this everywhere else, and I'm glad that you're hosting the show in West Virginia, newbies in Pennsylvania. You guys will be able to partake in all of this stuff.
Mate, I got to find another book, DraftKings, that I go to a lot. DraftKings is shutting us off at 8:00 Eastern tonight.
You can't bet the draft in Pennsylvania at all. There's not any books. It's not one of the regulated events that's allowed to be bet on in Pennsylvania unless you're doing offshore stuff. So I cannot bet. I wish I could on how many trades the Eagles will make on draft weekend, because hammer that over. But yeah, I can't bet anything on the draft, guys.
So this is news to me, boys. I can tell you this. It's the worst thing that I ever had to book and take bets on, because I felt like we had no shot. We were just kind of guessing with all these numbers, and all this steam comes here and steam comes there. And that's pretty funny that actually I think that's the right decision. I would never book the draft if it was up to me. If we ran a sports book, I would never book it, because it's a lost leader. And if you treat it as such, you get called a wuss for not taking bets. And if you don't put it up, you get called a wuss for not putting it up. You can't win with this and any level, but I'm glad that Bihal, you looked at some really deep numbers here. These things that you sent me in this text, I'm like, I don't even know who these guys are.
Well, let's do this. Let's have a little fun with it, because again, by the time people see this, there's not going to be much you can get down on. So I just want to have a little fun with you on these numbers. And listen, I probably got more into this.
Keep talking. I'll be right back, because I forgot the one last costume change for the season. Hold on,
going to get hats.
Stay right there. Hold on.
Newbie. I love this draft. I love getting some plays down now. I was fortunate last year on Game Within the Game. I got the exacta 1, 2, 3 last year, so I said I wasn't going to do that again. I feel myself getting pulled back in here a little bit. If it's still a decent number, can we go Walker, Hutchinson, and Stingley 1, 2, 3? That's catching a lot of steam here the last couple days.
It might be worth a look. I mean, everywhere that I'm seeing is Walker slam dunk at 1. All you need, though, from watching drafts, from booking, or from betting drafts, all you need is one little shakeup, and all your bets can be done for. That's why I think getting them in the early parts of the round, like hitting something like that, is the way to go, because those are the picks that are a little bit more scripted. I think when you start reaching in to the ends of the rounds, that's when you start getting a little more in trouble. So I like that one. I wish I could bet it. So
yeah, well, that's where this gets so fun, though, because the lying and the subterfuge that's going on with these execs. I mean, this is just chaos, but it's fun. It's fun.
Did you just say subterfuge?
He doesn't mess around, man.
I don't even know if I use that in the correct context.
You did. That was really good. I love good words like that. That was good.
All right. Well, let's dive in here, because I have no idea, other than I guess I'm going to ask you about this. Why you put a Pitt Panthers hat? Do they even make those still? Is that, I mean, Pitt's still selling gear up there? Do they do that?
Oh, that's a shot, Dave.
I didn't even know they still sold gear up there.
Listen, I got this one on the sale rack. The guy gave me.
Of course he did. It's a Pitt hat. Of course it was on the sales rack.
2 for $5.
Yeah, of course. I'm surprised they didn't pay you to take it.
Guy said you can have them both for $5. I was like, okay, I guess Kenny Pickett's going to get drafted. I'll wear a Pitt hat. I like the throwback script Pitt, and it's a Nike hat that'll be perfect for the golf. So I gave Jessica the other one.
Is that Nike logo on the top of the lid?
On the bill. Yeah, this is one of the new aerodynamic. It's great for out west because it's 8,000 degrees and you can't wear the wool caps in the summer. So this will be a practice cap. This will be a golf cap if I ever play golf again.
Good.
Yeah, it'll be good.
I assume you 2 for $5 and you got 4 season tickets to football this fall for them. Maybe.
Now you went there. I didn't have to go there. I mean, come on. You know what they say at Pitt Stadium about the corncob pipes. They're not allowed to smoke them. Remember that?
Yeah. We'll see this fall when there's 60,000 Mountaineer fans and 4,000 Pitt fans in there.
I'd
Okay,
have
so
to
let's
go to
start
the
there.
game.
Well, let's start there. Let's start
Oh.
there because I don't know what Pitt's doing at quarterback. They've lost a generational quarterback, took him to a championship game. Kenny Pickett is falling about as hard in a draft as you can fall. This has been 6 to the Panthers, 6 to the Panthers, 6 to the Panthers. It's plummeting. So here's a little segment we're going to do. It's called Gimme Some of That.
Give me some of that.
I'm going to give you an either or an or. I'm going to give you this bet or this bet, and you tell me give me some of that. Give me some of that. Which one do you want?
All right.
Or both or none, but pick one.
Okay. All right.
Let's start right there since you're wearing the hat.
Yep.
Kenny Pickett, and by the way, these are all plays I've made. Some I like, some I absolutely hate, and I know are already losers. So it is what it is. Let's try and win more than we lose. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Kenny Pickett over 12.5 minus 120, or my guy Malik Willis that we've been talking about on this podcast since the fall. So Pickett over 12.5 or Malik Willis over 10.5 plus 105. Give me some of that.
Give me some of that. Both. Can I say both right off the bat? I don't think either one of them are getting drafted in the top 10. So that's all that means, right? I got to get through 10 picks without either one of them getting drafted. And I got some of that.
Close. Pickett's 12.5. I mean, you got to get Pickett at least to pick 13. 12.5 was the number I got. Circa opened that at 18.5 as his number.
Oh,
I got it 12.5. So I didn't get the best number, but I think I got a pretty good number on Pickett. So you want both of those? I mean, the Willis one, I really like it plus money, obviously. But I'm with you on both of those. I like both of those.
Circa opened it at 18.5. It's down to 12.5.
No, I got it earlier at 12.5 before they had.
Went up. It went up.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the move. I mean, how many teams in the top 12 or even an option right now to take a quarterback? 2?
Well, Carolina's definitely in play at 6.
Carolina and Seattle, right?
Yeah, and so and in Seattle, they keep telling me they like Drew Lock, which I get the lies, but they also signed my guy Geno as a backup quarterback. I mean, they just gave him a brand new contract. So what are they doing? I think it's more an indictment on, and this is going to lead me right into our next one. It's more an indictment on this quarterback class. I mean, there's just so many questions about, is there a franchise quarterback here? The answer is clearly no, given what these markets are telling you. Okay, now go ahead.
There's a bet. Are the number of quarterbacks taken in the first round?
Okay, yeah. So let's do that next.
Go ahead.
So I went early on this, and I don't love this now, but here's your next one. Give me some of that. I know where you're going to go. Over 2.5 quarterbacks in the first round. Juicy minus 198 is what I got it weeks ago. Okay.
On over.
Yeah, and I'll give you my justification why. Over 2.5 quarterbacks in the first round, heavy juice, or over 5.5 receivers in the first round at minus 158. Both juicy. The thinking, now let me give you some justification for your answer. The justification on quarterbacks was this, that Pickett and Willis will go in the first round, anywhere in the first round, and that because it's quarterbacks, someone does something weird and they can't help themselves. We see it every year. These teams cannot help themselves, and Desmond Ridder sneaks in as your third. Was the thinking. I don't know that I would take that right now. I don't feel good about that one.
Is someone going to trade up or go, geez, we better take Ridder now? Otherwise, we can't wait. Like, you've done fantasy drafts. I mean, I've never been in a war room for an NFL draft, but I don't think anyone's going to be jumping up there saying, hey, we better go get Ridder now because somebody's going to take him right away.
Agree. I mean, and part of this,
I don't want any of the quarterback one. Don't give me none of that. I want under in that.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think so. You're taking the over 5.5 receivers. I mean, receivers are catching a lot of steam right now. Jamison Williams from Alabama off the injury. You got Drake London. You've got the Ohio State guys, Wilson and Olave. I mean, there is a lot of wide receiver talent. And what do we know about the NFL? It's quarterback, but receiver is right there. You better pay some money for receivers. And I'll go further. I don't mean to get too deep on you on salary cap stuff, but what are teams figuring out? Go get an elite receiver on a rookie deal. That was the word forever. You got to get an elite quarterback on a rookie deal where you can control costs and surround him. Now it's, I need a Jamar Chase wide receiver stud on a rookie deal that I can control costs and run with it. There's some talented receivers. Over 5.5 to me feels like a good play on that draft bet.
I'm going to say I don't want any of that one either. Only because of this. There's too much talk. Now, again, this might be the book guy in me rooting for the books to win one bet because a lot of people are talking about the receivers. And again, I'll be the first one to say nobody knows shit, including myself. So don't, go crazy with this. But I don't want any of that bet either because I'm getting a good price on the under. And I've seen it now. Some books have that 6.5. I think I would like it even more if you told me I had under 6.5 receivers. There's definitely 4. It sounds like there's definitely 4. So it ain't like they're only going to get 1 or 2 and you're not going to have to sweat this thing. I think there's a minimum of 4 picked in the first round. Just based
I think,
on,
4 is a slam dunk. You might have 4 in the top 15 picks. I mean, those 4 are going to go fast. Then we're going to be sweating those last 2.
Exactly. Yeah. That's that. So when you look at, and believe me, I can't stand mock drafts. I went on Bostonian versus the book, and Peralta asked me, do you like mock drafts? I said, I'd rather go get a root canal. I wasn't kidding. I'd rather do that. I mean, thank goodness we're 24 hours away from the draft, so I can stop with this mock draft stuff. But I'm going to go, I don't want any of that on both of these. I don't really like the wide receiver one. I like the quarterback one because I can't see another quarter. It could be 2 based on what we've seen and read and stuff. I don't think it can be 3.
Yeah, I think it's probably 2. I think that, again, that's one of the hazards of firing early on early draft narratives. I'm going to give you my next one that caught me. It's a definite loser because I fired too early trying to run some early steam. I'll give you that in a second. The quarterback one is probably contingent upon if Pickett were going to go 6 to the Panthers, you were live with 3 in the first round.
Yes.
The fact that Pickett is falling, because what happens there? They see Pickett off the board at 6, and now people start, oh, no, I better get a quarterback. Now, if both of those guys, Willis and Pickett, are falling into the teens, then you're right. Then you go with Ritter, like he'll be there in the second if I want Ritter. So I think that's the narrative. That's the flip.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Just like for you guys that have done fantasy drafts, and I've done them for years. I haven't done them for a number of years now because of all of this other stuff. But when someone takes the quarterback, you go, oh, here comes the quarterback run. And it bang, bang, bang. And it's that FOMO, right? The kids say FOMO, which apparently is fear of missing out. That's what FOMO stands for. That could happen, but I agree with you. I don't think he goes at 6 now.
Yeah, I think that's a loser. Okay, here's another one that's a loser.
Mm-hmm.
Kayvon Thibodeau. Over 5.5.
For the people that may not know who Kayvon Thibodeau is, who is Kayvon Thibodeau?
Oregon edge rusher.
Oh, this kid's good. Okay, I know.
Oregon edge rusher, outstanding. Early steam, and it looks like it was the famous lie to help your client was that his interviews weren't going well. He wasn't meshing with teams. The over 5.5 was an early move that seemed like the play that is since reversed. You go look at his numbers now. There's a lot of talk with him at 2, 3, 4. It looks like that's a loser. So I'm going to telegraph your play here. You probably don't want the over 5.5. I think I'm taking a hit on that one. Here's the other one that's interesting. This is going to be a fun sweat. This plays into our last one. So give me some of that. Thibodeau over 5.5, or Chris Olave, the talented receiver from Ohio State, under 16.5.
Give me some of Olave.
I think you want Olave. Now bring Newbie in here because one of the mock mock database.com, which is a good one. It takes all of these mocks that you hate and gives us consensus.
Okay.
The consensus has Olave to the Eagles at 15. Newbie, do you like it?
Give me some of that, baby. Would love a wide receiver to pair with what we have on the outside with our Alabama wide receiver. I don't think Jamison Williams gets there. So if Olave's the next best thing, give me some of that, B-How.
That would actually really, woo! Wow, that would
I'd be doing push-ups in my living room, Dave. I'll send you a video if we get Olave. I'll bump out a quick 25.
I love it. That'll help that offense tremendously. That would add some real energy dynamics. Yeah, I don't like the Thibodeau one. I don't want any of that.
I don't either, and I've got it. I don't want any of it either, and I'm holding it.
So before we jump to the last thing here, the Aiden Hutchinson thing is interesting, isn't it? And I think it's reflective of the Thibodeau moving up. Is Hutchinson moving down? If they don't take him, like, where does he go?
So, Dave, the question on Hutchinson becomes, if he doesn't go one, which it appears that he's not, the market's telling you it's going to be Walker now. Are the Lions passing on a University of Michigan stud that was #1 overall draft pick consensus for months? Are the Lions passing on that? He's got to go too, right?
You would think so, but it's the Lions. They're not going to take him, right? Like, I don't know. I would think yes, but if the Lions don't, then when? Like, it's out of the top 5, I think. I mean, it's legitimately, I don't know, but from what you're hearing, the scuttlebutt, I hope the Lions take him. I think it'd be great for him. It'd be great for the team. It'd be, but a lot of times they don't like to take that local guy, all the pressure, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. It seems ready-made and easy. You think they will?
Get quarterbacks and get guys that can get to the quarterback. Isn't that about as simple as it gets? Get guys that can throw it and get guys that can get to the thrower.
Forget the basketball analytics job. You should be in a war room. That's very simple. You just you made numbers. You gave us an explanation for basketball. You made an odds maker number 3 times, and now you're giving away the secret to draft a good football team. Seriously, what can't you do?
Let's credit my guy, our guy, Julian Edlow, DraftKings. I tailed him about a week and a half ago.
Oh.
Hutchinson over 1.5 plus 160.
What's that price now?
That's big minus.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a good call. Credit Julian. So I'm on that. I didn't give you a little
Good
give me
call,
some of
Juice.
that because you can't get it right now, but credit Julian Edlow at Julian Edlow on Twitter. Well done with him. Okay, good on draft. I mean, you're going to be talking draft for the next 72 hours. So you good on draft. We can find you on Sports Grid if we want to hear more draft from you.
Yeah, the Sports Grid will be on Thursday and Friday from 5 o'clock Pacific, which is 8 o'clock Eastern, and for 3 hours, 4 hours one night, 3 hours another night while the draft is going on. I'm going to be the guy watching the basketball and the hockey and the baseball and keep reminding the guys that are talking about, the backup left tackle that was drafted in the 2nd or 3rd round from some school that I don't know. And I'll be texting you to say, what's the name of the school that he went to, please? And so I can act like I know what I'm talking about. Cause that's enough draft talk for me.
Call me. I'll be by my phone. I'm ready to go. I love the draft. I watch it every year, almost every minute. I'm a big draft geek. I love it.
Really?
I do. It's one of my things. I've always loved the draft. I loved it. So I'm in there.
Have you ever been?
No, never been. Never been.
All right.
Almost like golf. That's a great product on TV. Like I think you'll have a blast. I think that'd be fun to be in Vegas for all the action. But if you really want to watch the draft, I mean, TV product's the way to go.
Exactly. And I like to watch stuff. I like to be a part and hang out too, but I don't know what this is going to entail. We'll have more stories about that next week.
Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, click on another video right here on the screen. And if you really liked it, consider subscribing below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.